Hello and welcome back to Calradia 1403. And I've made my way over to a marketplace because it is definitely about time that we pick up some plate armor. Because, well, I actually didn't even realize that we had so much cash. I was actually just mindlessly kind of enjoying getting a load of money, and I didn't realize how much we actually had. So I've now come here. I've purchased a helmet, as you can see right there. Extremely good. I also got some Western early plate armor, which is going to give us a huge amount of body armor and arm armor. And unfortunately for me, I had to very specifically find some leg armor because the leg armor of our torso piece is extremely low, just so you know, right? So basically what we're going to be running around with is insane amounts of body armor. As you see, 132. We actually total have 275, which is insanely good. I absolutely love that. So that is going to be really strong. And I am very much hoping that we are going to be, not hitting the legs. Alright, so this is us against a vassal, or two in actual fact. Yeah, we got two of them in the battle itself. So we're now going to just see, okay, yeah, we're not doing so well in regards to the battlefield here. Why is my camera doing weird stuff? Okay, anyway, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to move these guys over here. This is absolute perfection. Look at the craziness that we have going on here. This is absolutely insane. The fact that we can just have our crossbowmen in this area, and then we can move our infantry over here, put them into a shield wall, just have them be really close to this area here. Because let's face it, any cavalry that wants to go around this side, they're welcome to do so. This is going to be extremely interesting. So let me actually just see. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to tell my guys to hold fire, because I don't want them to fire right now. It's absolutely pointless for them to fire right now. Maybe once the enemy gets a little bit closer, then we might be able to do something a little bit more. I'm thinking right about now is probably pretty good. And they've obviously got completely free line of sight, you know. Their line of sight is absolutely free right now, so they shouldn't have too many issues, with the exception of the environment, of course. But if the environment is stopping them, then that's just how things are going to have to be. Nothing to worry about there. Not really anything that I can do about that anyway, so we're just going to leave them, and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to do some damage. Oh, we actually ended up losing someone already? Really? I'm actually quite surprised about that. I certainly wouldn't have expected that in a million years, but okay, apparently. And how are we doing so far? Not entirely convinced. Oh, nice damage. Wow, that was a nice hit. It's funny, actually, you know, I sometimes think that maybe just doing some piercing damage is probably the way to go, and just ignoring the fact that we have a cutting weapon primarily, you know, because piercing damage is just fundamentally so much better in regards to its damage type. Because, I mean, you can see how much damage I'm actually doing with the piercing attack in comparison to the slashing. Yeah, sure, slashing is really good against these kind of guys, right? Because they have barely any armor on. But for the most part, piercing is going to do the damage. Yes, it's going to do massive damage. Oh, if only I hadn't gotten shot right there. But yeah, you see how much damage I took? And that was a headshot. That was a headshot. And they literally did nothing to me. They did 19 damage. Obviously, my helmet... my helmet, on the other hand, took massive damage. And so that's the reason why we're maybe going to have some issues here, potentially. But look at that! 188 damage. 188 damage. That is exactly the reason why I was saying, yeah, maybe what we should do is we should exchange the glaive for something else. Let's get a... I don't know, let's get a polearm or something. Like obviously we're using a polearm right now, but what I'm talking about is a thrusting one. A thrusting one could be very lucrative for us. And yeah, you can see here that we're actually not doing too badly right now. The enemy has just completely lost all of their infantry, because my infantry obviously dealt with them really nicely. You can see here my Rhodoks sergeants are all in plate armor, and I don't blame them, to be honest. I don't blame the opponent for being extremely, extremely useless against our forces here, because let's face it, anyone that has to fight against the Rhodoks, especially as a cavalry-centric army, I mean, they don't really have huge amounts of cavalry or anything like that, but just look at what... Okay, well, I was... I was actually going to say, just look at what I'm able to do here. Yeah, I was going to say that, and then I was going to, you know, use my polearm to stop the cavalry from moving, but yes, that did not work. That did not work, so just ignore that, but yes. Yeah, you can see here, look at that. That was an insanely easy kill, and now this guy has to deal with every single person here, and he's dead instantaneously. And that was actually the vassal, which is hilarious. This guy is now going to charge straight up, and there you go. There's a nice little bit of damage. Hopefully we can eliminate them. Yeah, as I said before, I do think that we should probably see about getting a thrusting polearm. I think this is going to be so much better. And it's kind of strange, actually. Our crossbowmen are not really killing anything. I think the primary reason for that is they might be using cutting damage. I actually don't know whether they're using cutting damage or not, because we know that for certain, a couple of archers, certain archer types use cutting arrows or cutting damage arrows, and that obviously fundamentally just decreases the amount of damage that they can possibly deal. That's obviously an RBM thing, I think, for the most part. So we're otherwise... should I actually tell my forces to charge in right here, or should we just not? The fact is, I don't have my horse right now, so it's not really going to do a huge amount. But yeah, you can see here that I can barely do any damage to these guys, unfortunately. I mean, every single time we do damage, we are indeed damaging their armor. You can see on the right side of the screen exactly what's happened to my armor in this time as well. And there you go, there's a nice little stoppage from our thrust attack there. And the enemy is indeed running into our infantry, which is making a big difference. Actually, wait a minute. Oh no, horsey, wait a minute. Oh, I wanted to get on. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, no such luck right there. There we go. Nice little stop. And you know, actually, sometimes I kind of think that maybe what I should do is just let the cavalry run into our own infantry, because they are just so much better at this game than I am. So it would probably make more sense, wouldn't it? Anyway, I'm just going to tell the infantry to charge in now. There is no point in not. And yeah, this guy's obviously going to play very defensively for the moment. I have very little thrusting damage with this weapon, so that's also the reason why a lot of the time when I actually do make a hit with a thrust of this thing, unless I hit like a weak spot or something like that, it's not really going to do that much damage. But if we had a slightly better weapon for thrusting, then we may see quite a few more kills. So I'm thinking to myself right now, yeah, I'm thinking maybe we could get something that's a little bit like a Manavlion from the base game. I'm not sure if they have that in this, but I will be checking it out, because that would be a perfect weapon for what I need it for, because it has piercing damage. It can do cutting as well, which would be... that would be pretty fun, you know, that would be pretty fun. Anyway, we're going to just tell everyone to charge in now. We'll tell the archers as well, and we'll just see what we can do, because these fellows are just running around randomly here, and, well, we obviously want to clean them up, don't we? So I don't really want to die myself, if at all possible. We are in Saranid territory right now, so it would probably be a good idea to try to maintain our HP as much as we can. And there's the victory for us. They actually decided to retreat. Okay, fantastic. That's pretty good. And there you go. Okay, so Doctor's Oath obviously is coming in mighty handy here, because Doctor's Oath provides us with the ability to take many more people prisoner than it otherwise would. And I'm not gonna take these guys prisoner. I don't see the point in that. even though I don't have a huge amount in charm skill or anything like that. That is just not something that I'm really concerned with right now, because obviously money is not the concern here. You know, money is really not the main reason why I'm doing this. Okay, so there is a masterwork Sturgian lance. I'm not really looking for that. Oh, I am looking for a lordly lamella shoulder piece. Oh, look at us. Oh, yes, we're looking very good right now, aren't we? Yes, we're looking fantastic. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything else here? No. Okay, so we could technically use this lance if we wanted to. Yeah, I don't know. We are definitely going to need, in my opinion at least, I think we're going to need a new weapon. So I think we'll go to a nearby town and we'll see what we can do about that. Alright, so we've come back to Ortisia here. It has 62,000 in cash, which is actually pretty nice. And I'm wondering now, is there anything here that I have that I could potentially give to Svala? Yes, this helmet right here is obviously slightly better for her. The fine lamella shoulder pieces, very, very nice for her as well. And obviously my old armor is going to be good for her. And there we go, some slightly better... Oh wow, slightly better gloves and boots, and that is it. Let's sell all of that. 42,000! 42,000 just for that. That's crazy. Also, these arrows actually do piercing damage, so it is not every single archer that does cutting damage. Some of them do piercing as well. So that's just a certain archetype of character that is doing that. So that's actually good to know. Anyway, let's take a look and see. Ooh, a Thamaskene pike. Okay, wait a minute. 303. Oh, okay, can't use it on a mount, of course. Yeah, I should have expected that, actually. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of these are not thrusting, actually. I mean, you can use them, technically, as a thrust. I could go for this, potentially. I mean, as you can see, it doesn't... I mean, it has a very high thrust damage factor. So we could technically use that. It's got a massive thrust damage factor in comparison to what we were using beforehand. So you know what? Let's go. Let's try it out, okay? Let's try it out and see what happens. I mean, we're going to be making 44,000 here anyway. I actually do need to sell a whole bunch of stuff because apparently I have loads of... Yes, I have loads of grain. Yeah, I don't know why I have so much grain here, but I'm going to be selling quite a few of it. There we go. And let's sell some of this as well because I still have 118 days. Okay, 118. That's quite a lot. Anyway, what I would like to do as well is do a little bit of buying here of some things. Yes, my herding skill is now... Yes, herding is really a huge annoyance, actually, for me right now, for some reason. I don't know why it's become such an issue, but there we go. We're actually losing a little bit of speed now. So this is the golden amount of horses for me at the moment, and I have 65 troops. I do have some prisoners as well, so 52,000 right there, and then we can sell this for 4,200, which is actually not too bad. And we did level up as well, so let's see what we can get. I'm going to be, of course, going for this because for the most part, I'm not really using my crossbow that much, which I have to admit is a bit disappointing. I think the main reason for that is that when I end up using it, I feel like I am so much less effective than if I were to just use my melee weapon in some way or another. And you know what? We're going to be going for roguery skill once again, I think. I think that's just fundamentally so much better than what we have going on otherwise. I mean, I could spec into charm like I was planning on or thinking about, but I don't know. I just feel like it's not really worth it at this point in time. I could go and get some more troops. I think we might as well, right? We might as well. And then we have a couple of people over here that we could help out. Arenakos. I'm going to just go in for a nice little auto-resolve there. That's going to be super nice and simple. I'm not going to take him prisoner or anything like that. I don't see the point in it. And otherwise, we're just going to take these prisoners real fast. The loot is absolutely insane for such a short battle. Look at that. That was just like nothing, you know. That was just a snap of the fingers, basically. And we are already 100% done. And look at how much we're going to gain from this. 5,000 just from me going in there, and just for like a second or two, you know, just for a second or two. That is just so amazing. It really is just so incredibly cool. I'm surprised actually. Why are we fighting against the Swadians? I didn't think we were. Oh, it seems like it must be a mercenary party. Oh yeah, it must be a mercenary party of some kind. Oh, stop there. Who are you? And so on and so forth. When you speak to anyone in Bannerlord, they you know, say their line and everything, and I find that quite funny, considering, you know, it's not something that you know, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I shouldn't probably say anything about it. But anyway, what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna be a little bit audacious this time around, mostly because I don't want the enemy's cavalry to come and try to attack my forces really early on. So I'm hopeful that my forces will then be able to get into a decent position, and then they can hopefully kill the opponent really fast without us having to really, you know, worry about much. So we're just going to spread them out as well. And yeah, so otherwise, our one and only companion is now kitted out really nicely as well. And bear in mind that the plate armor that I had to find here, it was pretty hard to find, by the way. Pretty hard to find. Not a lot of places have it. So, you know, when we can, if and when we can, I will try to upgrade her armor again, if at all possible, because I think obviously that's going to be quite nice. Make sure that she has some decent protection. And yeah, let's try out our thrusting attack, shall we? Let's try out our thrusting attack a little bit if we can, because this obviously has a much larger thrust damage multiplier. So that means, you know what that means? That means that we are going to be able to penetrate deeper into the opponent. And that's what they like, you know? That's what they like. So we're obviously going to make sure that everyone is satisfied at the end of this particular action. And you can see here that I don't even know who this guy is. It's just some it's the Skolder fellows by the looks of things. And as you can see, they just got absolutely destroyed. You know, it's just hilarious. Is this the casting couch? No, it isn't. It isn't. But if it was, he would be on it, and that would be the title. Anyway, there we go. That is indeed it. Let's go for some more spearmen, shall we? It feels to me, you know what? It feels. I think I could probably go. Look at this. I could wear this, but then my legs disappear, as you could see. That is the main issue right now, because I obviously have to use some specific legs, otherwise I am gonna disappear, you know. Which of course is you know, fine and to be expected, of course, because with new armor and things like that, that's just what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna give it to Svala. She's gonna get a wonderful, amazing upgrade. And I'm going to have to look out for something myself that will hopefully be relatively good for us. And this is where we currently are. So let's see if we can, you know what? As I said, I was about to say actually that I feel like we probably can go into a battle against a relatively... I'm thinking maybe this guy. What does he have? He's got some pretty terrible units. So we could probably deal with him, maybe. I mean, I'm a little bit worried about it in general, because I'm only at 62% HP. So it's a you know what? It's a little bit likely that he's going to win. Actually, he's quite likely to win this, to be honest. But he does have a lot of recruits, and we have the high ground as well. I mean, you know, I have the high ground, Anakin, and so on and so forth. You know, that's the old adage, isn't it? Yes, that's the writings of Sun Tzu, of course. You know, that's it's in the book. You know, the book of you know, the book of the joys of cooking. You know, it's all in there, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, of course. Anyway, we are going to make sure that our archers are in a wonderful loose formation. And I'm actually unsure what I should do right now. I'm thinking that maybe what I should do is try to create some diversions, you know, create some diversions to a certain degree. Oh, we're getting a lot of kills right there. That's very nice. Oh, I like that. Just going to put my infantry down here. It's probably not the best idea, but we're going to put them there nevertheless. Let's put these guys slightly closer. I've got to be a little bit careful about the cavalry because they can very easily flank us. Not a big fan of that. I'm going to put my guys into a shield wall formation as well. And let's see what I can do here. Nice. Okay. Can we... Yep, nice. There we go. Nice. There we go. Yep, that's what we like to see. We like to see some big headshots. Some massive, massive headshots. They are taking a load in their faces right now. And that is exactly what we want. Thankfully, I'm not taking anything right now because their large poles are missing me a huge amount. And obviously, let's face it, I'm wearing protection. I've got a huge amount of that. So I really don't need to worry about it at all. I even have some spare in my inventory if needed. Or not, as the case may be. He hit me in the leg. Yes, he hit me in the leg, and that is entirely the reason why we died now. Oh well. Yeah, exactly. That's also kind of the... See, that's the issue. That is our weak spot. That is a 100% weak spot. And that was the problem here. But look at my sergeants right now. My sergeants are absolutely murdering everything in sight, which is exactly what we wanted them to do. They are fundamentally so much stronger than anything the enemy has, with the exception of the cavalry, of course. But the cavalry are attacking my crossbowmen, which I'm not a big fan of, but I can't really do much about that. So let's just speed up and see what happens. Obviously, my crossbowmen are they're gonna start to be a little bit skirmishy very, very soon. And yeah, so that is indeed a bit of an issue. So what I'm gonna try to do is I think I'm gonna continue to look around a little bit, and I'm gonna try to find better armor. I know I thought that maybe I found some really, really good armor here, but clearly it still has a weak spot, and I don't really want my legs to be a weak spot, especially when I am riding around on a horse, because my legs are going to be basically at mid-height, and it's going to be very easy for cavalry and indeed infantry to hit the legs. And so that's the reason why I'm now, you know, a little bit worried about that. Anyway, let's take some of the higher tier units, and then we will move on. And what else do we have here? Yeah, I mean, obviously we have some really, really good armor available, but this is obviously not armor that I can potentially use to good effect right now. So we are just gonna sell them once we return over to somewhere else. The funny thing is, I did go to Veluka, Jokala, Yalen, and I didn't find any good armor there, by the way. I didn't find any good armor there. Probably just unlucky. But I had to venture into Swadian territory, because I thought to myself, well, the Swadians are most likely going to have some really, really good plate armor, because they have the Swadian Knights, of course. And the Swadian Knights are obviously, you know, they are walking tanks. And, well, that's when they are walking, because they're most of the time on horses. The amount of cash we're getting here, 46,000. I already sold my prisoners as well for about 5,000. And look at where I am right now. I'm back to 500,000 in cash. And I didn't even spend that much. That's the wondrous thing. I didn't even spend that much on this plate armor, which kind of begs the question. There must be something better. There must be something better. So I'm going to go over to Revella right now, because I didn't check the marketplace over there. And we're going to have a look-see. Maybe there'll be something that will be amazingly good for us. Let's have a look. Okay. Nope. 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 Okay. Nothing. Nothing really, really good for us, unfortunately. But they do have 38,000 here, so I will be able to sell a couple of pieces. There we go. 35,000 remaining. Well, actually, 35,000 gained, not remaining. Ha. They barely got anything remaining. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make my way over, I think, probably to Loxim. Let's go over to Loxim, because that used to be a Swadian fief, as far as I can tell. And obviously, the Rhodoks took it. And now we're going to just take a quick look and see if there is maybe some greater selection here. I'm hopeful that there will be. If there is, then great. If there isn't, then, well, I have no idea what to do at that point. I mean, as you can see right here, look at the leg armor in comparison, right? Look at the leg armor. It gives me 79 leg armor. Obviously, the body armor is very, very low in comparison to what we currently have. It's literally half, pretty much, basically. And, yeah, I'm actually not entirely sure what to do, because on the one hand, I really want to wear plate armor because it is fantastic and it looks great. Don't get me wrong, it looks absolutely fantastic, but it is going to result in those kinds of situations where you saw just now when I was in that battle, I got insta-gibbed, you know? I got insta-gibbed. I took 62 damage from some random hit just because he hit my legs, and I feel like the legs, especially as I said, that we're on horseback, they're pretty easy to target. So I'm kind of hoping that we're going to find something that will allow us to prevent that from happening again. As you see, we do have some great helmet armor on right now, but nothing else. Oh, that's very, very sad. Okay, we can sell this, That's another 31,000. We can sell some of these. There we go. And I'm actually going to go and fight this guy because he's got 132 people. And I think we can probably do quite well here. Oh, I actually leveled up again. Okay, what am I going to spec into? Well, I think I should probably spec into Charm, considering. And now, here we go. Let's do some damage. Hello there. Hello there, friend. Okay, he's got Swadian militia, Swadian skirmishers. He has a couple of hirelings as well, which are probably going to be the big deal here. But this is going to be nice because this gives us a broader spectrum, a broader experience when it comes to dealing with enemies in Calradia 1403. Because we've only really fought against a handful of caravans to begin with, from a variety of factions, and then we also fought a couple of Saranids, and that's pretty much it. So it would be great if we could fight a wider variety of people. Okay, so no heals, no height bonus that we're going to get here, so that's kind of unfortunate. I mean, we kind of can do something here, I guess, to a certain degree, but it's not really going to be great. Yeah, I guess we could just do something like this, and that's pretty much all we can do. We'll see what happens. Maybe the enemy is not really going to have much. They don't seem to have much available in regards to cavalry, so this should technically be pretty easy for us. But I have a sneaking suspicion it will not. And indeed, a Sword Sister is going to be quite difficult for me to eliminate. I believe Sword Sisters actually have really, really good armor in this, so a lot of the mercenary units are actually a lot better than they are in Warband, as far as I can tell. Oh, there we go. Never mind. The head obviously was a weak point. That's what I was actually trying to target this entire time, because of course she wasn't wearing a helmet. You know, she wasn't wearing a helmet. Did not listen to her parents, because they always said, you know, when you're riding a bike, you got to make sure to wear a helmet. And when you're going on any kind of ride, to be honest, so, you know, if she's riding a horse, probably a good idea to put one on. Riding something else, maybe not necessarily, you know, if you're riding something else, but, you know, those kinds of things, definitely put on a helmet. Safety first, you know, safety first, especially considering if you're up against me, or if you're fighting me in some way or another, it's more than likely, if you're on my side, I'm probably going to shoot you by mistake. Because that's what happens, you know? I do tend to do that quite often. But thankfully, that doesn't seem to be happening in this series. Not yet, at least. Not yet. I do tend to completely ignore... I gotta say that, to be honest. I do tend to completely ignore ranged skills, at least early on. And then once I have a relatively decent army and we start doing some sieges and stuff like that, that's when I start leveling it up. And I'm not sure why that happens. I don't know why that happens. I think it's ever since they changed how ranged works. But yeah, I think we can basically just charge our forces in right now. I'm going to put these guys into an auto-delegate. Auto-delegate skirmishing is absolutely fine as long as the infantry are actually doing something relatively good for you. And most of the time, I actually feel like charging with archers is just much better, just because it allows your people to move into range and stay in range and get themselves a couple of kills in the meantime. Now, I don't have any kind of decent close quarters weapon, but apparently that does not matter. These Rhodoks sergeants are absolutely destroying every single thing in sight. And I gotta say, I'm always very impressed when they're capable of doing something like that, to be honest. They are really, really effective. Wow, yeah, they are super effective. I think it is literally just because they are so good with their weapons. I mean, look at this guy. He's using like a pole axe or something like that, or a pole hammer. Very, very good. Look at that, 15 renown, 30 influence. I mean, all this influence, and look at how much we got. We literally got 7,700 just from eliminating him. And now look at my charm skill, leveling that up like no one's business just because we let him go. It's actually insane how much cash and how much, well, generally you can get. And yeah, I'm gonna equip these new bolts. Oh, that actually reminds me. You know what I should do? You know what I should do? I just found a flag as well, by the way. That's pretty nice. Yeah, but you know what I should do? I should literally get a better crossbow. I don't know why I haven't done that. Why haven't I done that? I'm an idiot. I guess that's why. Okay, yeah. We're gonna go and actually, let's go over to Loxim, because that's the closest. And we'll see if we can maybe find a really good crossbow. Because as it stands right now, I feel like my crossbow at the moment is actually really good, but it feels not very strong. So it would be cool if we could maybe get something a little bit more powerful, or maybe not. As you can quite clearly tell, it doesn't seem as though we're going to be able to get that. I could indeed use this. I could use this shield. Yeah, sure. Why not? Ah, it looks cool. Oh yeah, I like it. I like it. Okay, that seems pretty fun. Okay, yeah, let's use that. And then we'll go over to Veluca. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have something nice because Rhodoks, obviously, they're very much. Oh, okay. They're very much all about crossbowmen, right? They're the best crossbowmen in the game, or they should be the best crossbowmen. And yeah, they just defeated a massive Saranid army. The Rhodoks just took a load of them prisoner, which I very much appreciate. So that's nice. I like that. And now let's just take a quick look. A 410. 410 has a missile speed of 410, as you might expect. Well, it's obviously better, but only by a very small degree. I guess I'll get it, but yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that this is going to be that good. But sure, I mean, as I say, it is better. It's just a very minor upgrade. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.